Linn Dunn, Fever general manager, Hall of Famer, champion, just went off on head coach Stephanie White. Why? Because she believes Caitlin Clark isn't being allowed to run the offense she was born to lead. This isn't just tension, it's a basketball philosophy clash, and it may determine whether Indiana rises or implodes. Linn Dunn, quote, "We're wasting the best offensive weapon in the league. Caitlin needs the ball in her hands, period." Linn Dunn has seen it all. NCAA titles, Olympic gold. She's not a media hype machine. She's a builder. And when she speaks out publicly against her own head coach, that means things are boiling over. What she's really saying. She's saying the system isn't designed for Clark's strengths. She's saying Stephanie White is playing it too safe. She's saying if this continues, the franchise's future, both on the court and in ticket sales, could suffer. At Iowa, Clark had the freedom of a jazz soloist. In Indiana, she's playing background percussion. Dunn's frustration is layered. The Fever are last in assists. Turnovers are high because there's no clear lead decision maker. The veteran guards, Christy Wallace, Erica Wheeler, often take primary control, freezing Clark out of big moments.
I had a film breakdown prepared today, but I'm actually going to go a different direction. This is a rant because we have to talk about the state of this Indiana Fever team, and I'm here to bring the reality to all you Fever fans. This team is not a championship team. They're not a championship team. They're nowhere near close to a championship team because every team that is a championship team can play defense. This Indiana Fever team has no defense, and that's like the farthest of their problems. Their offense looked really bad today, and Caitlin Clark obviously didn't shoot the basketball well, but I'm not going to blame this loss on Caitlin Clark, even though obviously they would have won if she would have shot the ball well. My whole thing is you were up when Caitlin Clark wasn't shooting the ball well. You had a double-digit lead in that first half while Caitlin Clark was clanking every single three. She was 2 for 9 from the field, and you were still confidently beating this Aces team. The reason you lost was not because Caitlin Clark didn't score the basketball. The reason you lost is because you stopped doing what was working.
This isn't about Clark struggling. It's about Clark not being used properly. Even on bad shooting nights, the gravity she brings shifts defenses. That creates openings. But if you don't let her initiate, you're just running 4-on-5 offense. Why is she being limited? Coach White's style, structured sets, heavy reliance on veterans, team politics, balancing egos, especially with Aaliyah Boston needing touches, turnover fears, trying to protect Clark by not overloading her. But here's the problem with playing it safe. You also play small. In 2004, Phoenix let Taurasi run the show from day one, despite her turnovers. She grew fast. By year 2, she was an MVP candidate. Basketball greatness doesn't come from caution. It comes from control, freedom, and reps. Fans explode. What people are saying. Fan 1, Clark should be running the offense. White is sabotaging her. Fan 2, this is like putting Steph Curry in the corner and telling Draymond to shoot threes. Fan 3, let her cook. We paid to see Clark, not equal opportunity offense. Fans aren't just disappointed, they're disillusioned. The Clark effect sold out arenas, but when fans see her underused, they wonder, what did we buy into? At first glance, a 7-point loss seems manageable, but the details tell a different story, a game of missed opportunities, misused talent, and structural confusion.
Better looks, like higher quality looks. Every game plan is going to be to make her score inside the three-point line, right? And the different ways that they're going to do that. Physicality, coverage, showing bodies, all the different things. And, we have to do a better job of getting her higher quality looks. I'm not worried about Caitlin.
Turnovers are the clearest sign of offensive miscommunication. Indiana averages 15.6 turnovers per game, worst in the league, and this one was worse. These weren't all forced errors. Many were unforced. Bad handoffs, mistimed cuts, misreads. The deeper issue. This isn't just sloppiness. It's a byproduct of a system with no clear quarterback. Clark often doesn't bring the ball up. It's handed to Erica Wheeler or Christy Wallace. Because of that, possessions start slower and plays break down before Clark even gets involved.
Real big fan of what she's already been able to accomplish in the spotlight, tremendous spotlight. And I also think that she's going to adjust to the pros better than people think she is. Everybody wondered if Aaliyah Boston would, and look what she did. Aaliyah had good strength when she came in. She came from an outstanding program. She was smart. She was great work ethic, and Clark has all of that too. When you watch Clark, you think, how does she hit those threes from the logo? How does she make those great passes? She's physically strong. She's got great strength in her legs and her core. and in her hands. And so I'm expecting her to have an impact on the WNBA.
So think of an NFL team giving the ball to their water time instead of their quarterback on every snap. The efficiency. Clark shot just 9 times, extremely low for a primary scorer. Despite that, she had 5 assists, meaning she still created plays when she had the ball. But her usage rate was under 20%, far below her Iowa average of 35 to 38%, and lower than most elite guards in the WNBA. The problem: when you take a volume shooter and turn her into a low-touch, role-based guard, you strip her of her rhythm, confidence, and ability to manipulate defenses. Clark's greatest asset isn't just her shot, it's her gravitational pull. Defenses over-rotate to her, which opens up shooters, backdoor cuts, and transition chances. When she's not involved, all that disappears. Every sports franchise, sooner or later, arrives at a moment like this, a crossroads, a decision point, where the future isn't just something you wait for, it's something you build or break. Linn Dunn is not a quiet operator. She's a builder, a trailblazer, and most of all, a protector of her vision. When she speaks up like this, she's not just venting, she's sending a message through the walls of Gainbridge Fieldhouse. We are not going to waste greatness. Now, on the other end of this tension is Stephanie White, a respected coach, former player, and tactician, but her vision of this team, structured, egalitarian, veteran-focused, is quickly colliding with the storm of attention and expectation that Caitlin Clark brings. The truth, her job isn't just to manage a team anymore. It's to manage a moment, and if she can't pivot soon, that moment might pass her by. Caitlin Clark didn't ask to be a savior, but she was drafted like one, marketed like one, and she plays like one when you let her. Right now, she's stuck in a system that treats her like a complementary piece. But Clark isn't a brick in the wall, she's the architect. And if she continues to feel stifled by structure, by teammates, by coaching, you don't just risk poor stats. You risk her love for the project, her loyalty to the system, and eventually her commitment to staying in Indiana at all, because in a few years she'll be an unrestricted free agent. And make no mistake, the big market teams are already watching. This is the boldest and perhaps smartest option. You let Clark be Clark. Restructure the offense around her. Let her initiate. Let her shoot.
There has been so much drama in the WNBA. There has been so much surrounding Caitlin Clark. And through all of this, she has handled it better than I think any celebrity has ever handled any kind of spotlight on them. There has been a target on her. There has been a spotlight on her for her first 2 seasons in the WNBA, and she has handled all of it with grace. She has shown up for every big moment. In the big games, she plays to the best of her ability, and that is something that impresses me the most about Caitlin Clark. And I feel like this was the very first time that we saw maybe a dip in her confidence or something else was going on. The only other time that we have seen Caitlin Clark miss the way that she is missing was right before they announced that she had a quad injury. I'm not worried about her shooting ability. I think what I'm worried or concerned about, and what a lot of fans are concerned about, we don't want to see Caitlin Clark lose her confidence on the court.
Team may take lumps, but the long-term payoff is enormous. Faster development. Don't silence the storm. Let it speak. You don't draft a storm and ask it to stay calm. This ending isn't just dramatic. It reframes the entire video as a plea, not a takedown. It's not just about White's coaching or Linn Dunn's frustration. It's about wasted potential on a national stage. The storm metaphor implies that Clark brings power, but also unpredictability, something you build around, not suppress. Don't silence the storm is a rallying cry to management, media, and fans. She's not here to be managed. She's here to lead. The echo back to the corner reference from earlier in the script ties the theme together. We've seen her misused. We know what she can be. Now let her be it. Clear identity, excited fan base, and most of all, buy-in from your superstar. Think of how Phoenix handed the reins to Diana Taurasi in 2004, or how Luka Doncic shaped Dallas from day one. It's a drastic move, but not unheard of. We've seen mid-season coaching changes turn seasons around. A new voice, a new system, and a new commitment to the modern game could unlock this roster's potential, especially one built around speed, spacing, and shooting. This option is risky. It shakes locker room trust. But standing still? That's just a slower kind of risk. This is the default, the status quo. Stick with White. Balance touches. Trust the veterans. Let Clark ease into the league. But let's be real. How many sold-out arenas want to ease into anything right now? This option may keep things calm in the locker room, but it risks alienating the fans. And worse, it may cause Clark to mentally check out before she ever checks in fully. So where does Indiana go from here? It's not just about winning games. It's about choosing identity over indecision, about choosing vision over comfort, and most of all, choosing the storm instead of sheltering from it. Because you don't draft a generational force just to ask it to stand in the corner. Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball player. She's a movement, a symbol of possibility, a lightning strike in sneakers. But movements don't belong in the corner. They belong on the main stage. Linn Dunn sees it. The fans feel it. Even the league fears it. Because when you draft a player like Caitlin Clark, you're not just adding talent. You're changing the temperature of the room. You're bringing in the thunder. And if you're not ready for the storm, it'll pass you by.